Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. I am Siphon FM. Today we are looking at the GYR, G-Y-R. I know it's from a guy called GYR FM. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's GYR FM, but it is the LOKI version 2 FM23. Apparently he does a lot of Marvel-based tactic, or at least using Marvel as tactical names. So he's got a Loki one in there, he's got a Thor one in there, he's got a Deadpool in there. So we're going to take a look at them all. But right now, today is the Loki version 2. As you can see, it is a fairly standard 4-2-3-1, starting with a sweeper keeper in defend, wingbacks on the left and right in support, ball playing defenders in defend, a regista on the left in support. We haven't seen much of that. A Segunda Volante in support on the right, inside forward on the left in attack, an inverted winger in attack on the right, a shadow striker centrally, right behind an advanced forward in attack. Now, again, I go through these pretty quickly, so definitely pause where you want to see a little bit more information. He does have a lot of information on the page that I got this from, and I'll link it to in the channel description below. He's got a YouTube video that basically says the best FM23 tactic just got even better. So check that out. Take a look at how he uses it. Again, this is strictly, for me, just a sim. I don't do anything with the tactic. I just load it up, let all the managers and assistant coaches and whatever else do all the work for me. They even bring the transfers in, so check that out. But anything can change when you actually take control of this yourself. Yeah, I mean, you can, a lot of the draws you can probably change into 3 points and things like that. But in possession, you can see attacking width is fairly wide, approach play is pass into space, passing directness shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the fullbacks and the center backs and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a standard defensive line, trigger press much more often and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Now, if the best FM23 tactic just got even better with this Loki tactic, how did it do for our three teams of Tottenham, Wolves, and Newcastle? Well, as you can see, not the greatest. Wolves at 70 is really good, I have to say. 21, 7, and 10. 89 for, 61 against, so only a 28 goal differential. Again, defensively, not great. But 70 points for Wolves is definitely higher than usual. I think GYR FM actually used Aston Villa, brought them to the top with 89 points, so had a fantastic run with them. But here, you know, Wolves in 4th, Tottenham in 6th with 62 points, definitely average. Not great for them. 9th for Newcastle, 60. About average, I would say. But still, the Conference League is what they get. So they probably won a cup here and there, here or there. But we'll check that out in just a minute. Schedule-wise for Wolves, you could see they started out okay. 3 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Not the greatest. However, this sea of green from September through October into that first match of November, and you do lose out in the EFL Cup 3rd round to Arsenal, but you beat Manchester City 2-1 to finish off the first half of the season. Absolutely tremendous. Second half, not starting out all that great against Leeds. You do continue on in the Cup. You do get a couple losses, more losses here and there. FA Cup 5th round is where you bow out yet again to Arsenal at 1-3, and the rest of the season is not fantastic. You do win against Liverpool, though, 4-1. And you also beat Newcastle, who's using the same tactic, 3-1. Tottenham schedule looks not too bad. I mean, you get a loss against Man City in the first month. You got a loss against Liverpool. You got some losses in there. You got, I mean, your October is not all that great. Neither is your November. Second half of the season, it seems to be a lot spottier. I mean, you have a nice run here. However, you do lose to Chelsea in the EFL Cup semifinal second leg, but you do move on after beating them 5-0 at home. Absolutely insane. You get to the FA Cup final. You lose to Newcastle. Newcastle seems to be, I mean, how are they lower than you and kicking the crap out of you? But 1-4 in the EFL Cup final. You get to a final, so that's good. But FA Cup 5th round, you lose out in penalties to Aston Villa. Champions League, you do beat Ajax 5-0, but then draw them away from home 2-2. You make it to Atletico Madrid, where you win at home, but you lose out to away from home in the second leg 0-2, and that kicks you out of everything. Newcastle cannot find a way to beat Liverpool. 1-6 right now at the start of the season. You're doing okay. I mean, for Newcastle, not too bad, especially where they ended up. You do continue on in the Cups. Second half of the season, you continue on up until the FA Cup 4th round against Liverpool 0-4. And as we know, EFL Cup final 4-1 over Tottenham. Wow, I mean, 4-1 is an amazing result right there. So that actually is what gives you the Conference League next season. But the rest of the season, pretty spotty. Again, if you took control, did your own transfers, we'll see those in a minute, did some shouts, changed the tactics on the fly in a match, a lot of these probably could turn, if you're any good at this game, you probably could turn a lot of these into 3 points and, raise your way through the table. Well, Wolves actually sold off Adama Traore and Jose Sa, giving them a ton of money. So with all of that money, they actually brought in Pedro Gonçalves from Sporting for 24 million, Miguel Crespo from Fenerbahce, and Mateus from Braga. We've seen him before, but they've actually spent quite a bit, which is amazing to see because you never see it. Tottenham not really selling off anyone for too much, so they did bring in Juan Bernat from PSG and Austin Guy from San Lorenzo, so they spent a little bit of money, just not a whole lot. Newcastle really only kicking Jacob Murphy to the curb, but with that, they brought in Ronnie Edwards. Squad-wise for Wolves, you could see that Nathan Collins with 42 appearances, Semedo with 40 plus 3, and Jimenez with 39 plus 1. Where's Cunha? Cunha only 22 plus 7. Did he get injured? Yes, he was out for 3 months. Ouch. Goals-wise, you could see Jimenez with 22, Nathan Collins with 12, and Sarabia with 11. Nathan Collins, 12 goals? How did he get 12 goals as a center back? I mean, that's insanity right there. Sarabia with 14 assists, Neto with 13, Ait Nori with 8, and average rating probably Sarabia was 7.61. Neto was 7.12. Cunha was 7.09 though. I mean, still, they got a couple in there. Tottenham-wise, Lloris, as you would expect, 57 appearances, Harry Kane with 53 plus 1, and Kulusevski with 49 plus 3. Goals, Kane, 53. Seems to be racking it up now. I mean, the last couple of Tactic Talks we've done, he's been really racking them up. 20 for Son, 16 for Kulusevski, a little bit spread out. Assist-wise, 21 for Despotoff, though. 17 for Son and 9 for basically Porro, Betancourt, 8 for Kulusevski, not too bad. 7.41 Son, average rating. 7.29 Harry Kane, again, 53 goals, 53 appearances. I kind of want that to be a little higher. But 7.18 for Despotoff seems to be doing really well. Newcastle, as you can see, Nick Pope, goalkeepers always get the most. 46. Trippier gets 46 as well, though. St. Maximin with 44. Goals-wise, 18, 16, and 16 for Wilson, Schar, and St. Maximin. And then assist, 15, 12, and 10 to Trippier, St. Maximin, and Almiron. St. Maximin seemed to be doing a pretty good job this season. But, I mean, 7.50, 7.20 for people who've got 1 appearance. I didn't even see Dubravka only had 1 appearance. But 7.20 for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. 7.16s for St. Maximin and Joe Willock. So, not the greatest there. I mean, you got a lot of 6.9s. But still, obviously, you want more in the green. Most goals for Premier League stats. You can see Wolves are up there with 89. Great job there. 83 for Tottenham. 74 for Newcastle. I mean, high, but I wouldn't say higher than usually what we see with a lot of these tactics. But fewer shots against. Tottenham with 455. Most possession, nobody. Dribbles made. Newcastle are up there. Finally getting a dribbling tactic with Tottenham as well. Fewest because he had nobody. Tottenham with most shutouts. Most tackles won is Tottenham. So a little bit of a defensive effort. Nobody in best pass completion. Most shots for all 3 teams, starting with Newcastle, Tottenham, and then Wolves. And most points per game, Wolves and Tottenham are up there. Newcastle probably in 9th or thereabouts. Overview, Harry Kane with 34 goals for the Premier League. Just 2 under Haaland. Absolutely insane. Salah with 28. He's picking it up. Raul Jimenez with 20 and Son with 17. Most assists, Sarabia and Trippier are up there with 13 and 14 apiece. Despotov's even there with 10. Danjuma with 10. Player of the match awards, though, Kane with 7. Still, again, would expect that to be a little more with 34 goals. I mean, Haaland only has 11. So I guess my expectations are just a little bit too high for this this category. But best pass completion, Dyer and Mateus. Dribbles made is Rico Henry for Newcastle, 124. Fewest conceded, they're in there. Shutouts as well with Nick Pope. But most tackles won. St. Maximin is the only one in the list. Key passes Trippier with 140, well above Kevin De Bruyne. And most shots for Harry Kane and Raul Jimenez. Overall, I mean, Wolves, again, another fantastic tactic for them. We've seen better where they've actually won the Premier League in the first season as a sim. But Tottenham, Newcastle, not the greatest. Newcastle at 60. I mean, that's really bang on average, if not a little, I don't know. But Tottenham, 62 is not great for them. But Wolves with 70 did a pretty good job. But I am Sefin FM for the Football Manager blog channel saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.